Alright, so I had a blog reader recently ask me how to create like a movie credits effect. And so the idea being that I've got some text that scrolls across the screen just like you would see in a movie. And we'll go ahead and play around with this. Let's make the text here. I created a text box with a lot of text in it, as you can see. Now there are a few ways you can do a movie credit effect. It really just depends on what you want to do and what type of effect you have. But I like to keep things simple. So what a lot of people end up doing is they'll create like one line of text and they do the animation and then they repeat that. So they might have, like in this case, there's, I don't know, maybe 30 different credits. So they might have 30 different objects that have to animate in. And that's probably good if you're doing very specific things on those animations. But in this case, to keep it simple, I like to just create a single text box and then I just have all my content come in there. And if I want to change the spacing or whatever on that, I can do that. So let's go ahead and make it look more like a credit screen. So we're going to just format the background. We'll make the background black. And then let's go ahead and format this text here. I'm going to make the text a little bigger. So we'll go ahead and make it white and just a little bigger so you can see it in the screencast. And we'll just nudge this over a little. Now you can see what I have. Let me zoom out. So you can see what I have is I've got my text box. I've got all my credits in there. I'm just going to move the text box off screen here. Now what we want to do is add a motion path animation to have it move up. So all I have to do is select my object. And this is why it's nice working with one object, because you don't have to do multiple animations. So we're going to select my one object here, go to animations, choose custom animations, and then I'm going to add a motion path. And we'll just use the motion path up. And as you can see, by default, it scales up. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the slide here blue, and that's just so we can see it in comparison to the background when we apply it here. Oops. Yeah. So we've got a blue slide here. So now when we play it, you can see, okay, here's the text coming up. Now what we want to do is we want to take the motion path and we actually want to just drag it up here and get it so it moves off screen. So we can play it. We can see it moves off screen. And if I want to, I can play around with this, the length and all of that, because that'll impact your timing. So now we have our effect, and now it's just a matter of working on the speed of the effect. And so what I like to do is, one is it doesn't matter when you time this, whether it's mouse click or before, after another animation. But when you on your object here and you click the drop down arrow, you've got the show advanced timeline. So if you click on that, you can actually see your animation. And so it kind of shows you where it starts in relationship to the timeline. So say you had multiple objects on here. Let's actually just duplicate this so you can see what this looks like. So we've got two objects on here. Now you can see if let's drag this here. So you can see where they would be in relationship. Let's select them both. So you can see where they'd be in relationship to each other. So we're going to go ahead and delete the one we just duplicated. So you've got your object here. Now you can see where it is. It's at the 0 point, so it's going to start right away. And then it's going to last 2 seconds. And so 2 seconds, that means the whole animation is going to be 2 seconds. So you want to slow it down, and all you need to do is drag the end point to whatever's going to work for you. So we'll just do 9 seconds, and let's play it. And then 9 seconds might be the right speed. And you'll notice that it speeds up and then it starts to slow down. And that's because the animation itself has a ease in and ease out effect. So if we go ahead and select your animation, click this drop down, and you can play around with some of the effect options. And when you look at that, you'll notice it's got a smooth start, smooth end. I would just go ahead and turn those off, and then it'll just be consistent across the board. And then you can see there's your credits scrolling. And so if you want to change the timing of the credits, what you want to do is just click on this object and drag it further or shorter, and that'll make it change the speed at which the animation plays.